afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening from. Welcome to The Truth About Us. If you are a returning listener, thank you for coming back into the conversation. If you are a first-time listener, welcome and glad that you discovered this space. See, the podcast that you're listening to, I designed this as a space for honest conversations about the internal battles that many men face, whether they're quiet struggles or the difficulties of being seen or losing your identity. And we rarely talk about these things out loud. I mean, we never admit them to some of the most trusted people in our lives. So here, we uncover the quiet questions about identity and purpose and our direction. And I like to explore what it really means to navigate life, especially during the phases where time and our confidence and our identity and our old version of our life kind of no longer quite fits into our regime of who we're becoming. So I'm your host, Don Cramper, and this is The Truth About Us. So over the last couple of episodes, last couple of weeks, we've been unpacking something a lot of men experience but rarely understand how to process and probably never talk about. First, a couple weeks ago, was the quiet struggles. Then, the feeling of becoming invisible. And now, we arrive here. And it's a moment many men experience that can be very confusing. Very confusing. It's the moment when our life kind of looks and feels very successful on paper, but internally, something empty feels inside. We feel empty. I mean, we've achieved, major goals. We've built a career. And we've created stability. And from the outside, everything looks like success. It meets the definition of being successful. But somewhere along the way, something inside of us begins asking a quite different and quiet question. And the question goes something like this. Why does this feel the way... Let me rephrase this. Why doesn't this feel the way I thought it should? So today we're going to be talking about when success stops feeling like success. See, what I just described sounds or might be the feeling of being stuck. It kind of meets all the requirements of being stuck, right? What I said. But what if the problem isn't that we're stuck? What if we've simply outgrown the life that we built? Let me say that again. What if it's not us being stuck? What if we've just outgrown the life that we built? Think about it, because it's going to become a time and a point where we look around at everything that we worked for, and instead of feeling fulfilled, we kind of feel a little short or a little off. We don't feel as excited the way we used to be. And maybe we're not driven the way we once were. And things that used to matter like a lot, they just don't affect us the same anymore. And that is really confusing. Because nothing is necessarily wrong. I mean, the life didn't fall apart or anything, and we didn't fail anything. Something inside of us is no longer aligned with us. So we spend, if you think about that, many of us spend the first trimester of our lives, I call it, pursuing goals and success. The first trimester, we build careers. And we start a family and support them. And we create an ongoing stability experience and atmosphere, right? And then we start and continue to achieve goals. And those things matter. They require effort and sacrifice and discipline and commitment. But eventually, something unexpected happens. Those achievements that once felt exciting start to begin to feel a little too routine. The goals that once motivated us to achieve they begin to feel a little hollow and shallow. And the life that we once worked so hard to build begins to feel like something that we're just simply maintaining. And in that formula, the feeling, it doesn't feel like we're growing. And it doesn't feel like we're evolving. It really feels like we're treading water and we're just maintaining. So let's say what most men won't say out loud here. And I know I wouldn't say it, but I do now. Sometimes success feels empty, and it's not because the success is necessarily wrong or bad. It's because the version of that success that we were chasing was built for who we used to be, not who we are now and who we are becoming. And this is a big shift right here, and it isn't a breakdown. This is a transformation. It's a transformation. This is what it looks like when we begin to evolve and we move from proving ourselves and then we start to understand ourselves. That's a shift of transformation. The man that we're becoming isn't chasing validation anymore. Okay? We're chasing alignment. And we start asking a completely different question in that formula, that thought process, in that area of our life right now. And this is what it sounds like. What actually matters to me now? It's a couple of them. What kind of life feels true, not just looks good? Because it means something different now. Who am I becoming beyond what I've built? These are three really important questions. And here's the hard part about that. You may have let go of the version of success of something that we've done in the past that once defined us, and not because it was wrong, it's because it's no longer enough for us. It doesn't serve us any longer. So there's a micro action I can give you that you can start with. You can start right here. I want you to take a few minutes today, get quiet with yourself, and I want you to ask this question. Listen closely. If I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone, what would I actually want? I'll say it again. What if I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone? What would I actually want? Don't overthink it. It sounds like a complicated question, but it's very easy, and most of you will answer it very quickly. The only thing you have to do here is be honest. See, clarity doesn't come from pressure. Clarity comes from truth. And asking that question and answering it honestly will be the stepping stone in the path to becoming the person you want to become and who you really want to be. So if this resonated with you, if you've been feeling that quiet disconnect from your own life, this isn't the end of your drive. It's the beginning of your new direction. And this is the opportunity for you to change that. I would love for you to try and check out my Unstoppable Life app here, because inside that app is a thing called Start Your Reset. And that Start Your Reset was developed by me, and it is nothing more than a tool that will help us determine where to start, and it'll take us on our way to where we want to go. And if you want some additional information that's even deeper than that, I'd love for you to visit my website, www.unstoppablelifenetwork.com. And in there are multiple programs and information pieces that can help you determine what you would like to do and where to start. And it all starts with Start Your Reset. Tune in next week, and we're even going to go deeper into this shifting of ourselves. See, once we start questioning our direction, another question will come up. This particular question is, who am I without the roles I've been playing? And if you tune in next week, we will discuss who are you without titles. Till next time, stop chasing what you used to matter to you. Start building what actually matters to you now. We're not lost. You're evolving and transforming. Because this is the truth about us.